Hey kids, welcome to Createful Kids. This is Ashley, the art teacher, and this is Who Are You?
Conrad.
And today we're going to be painting this lovely forest mountain scene. And today we learned in our lesson plan that goes along with this lesson about values and about space. Tell your parents to click right over here or in the description, and there's a fun little activity and lesson that goes along with this. Okay, so let's get started. Alright, so to get started, all you need is your watercolor paints, some watercolor paper, and I like to tape it down, and you probably should too, and then a big fat wide brush like this, and a jar of water, and maybe some paper towels. For our first step, we're going to grab our fat paintbrush here and dip it in our water, and we're going to apply water onto all of our paper here from side to side, going all the way down. Doesn't have to be soaking wet, it just needs to be wet. In fact, you don't want to soak it too much, but you'll notice when we add some color it's going to bleed wherever the water is, so make sure you have all of it covered with water. And you can look at it from the side and see that it's shiny. And where it's not shiny, it needs water. Okay, now you're going to pick any color you want, but once you pick the color, you're going to have to stick with it for your whole painting. So what color do you want?
Light green.
Okay, which green? There's 3 greens right here.
The lightest.
That one? Okay. Go ahead and add just a little bit to your brush. Okay. And then I'm going to pick purple because I like purple. Okay, now you're just going to go from side to side, adding just a little bit of color on here. Okay, not a whole bunch. This is going to be very, very light. And if your paper starts curling, don't worry so much about it. When it dries, it'll dry flat. But you'll notice that wherever it is curving, it likes to pool.
What does that mean?
That means it makes a little pool that you'd like to dive into of water. Do you want to dive into the water?
Yeah.
It might be a little shallow right there.
I can't even see hardly any of it.
Okay, so yeah, so this is like our lightest value. It's not quite white, but mine has a little bit of purple and yours has a little bit of green. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to let this dry. But the way that I go about it is I get a hair dryer and then I dry it really fast. Alright, so once it's dry, what you're going to do is you're going to dip your big fat brush into your water and then into your color. And this time try to get a little bit more color on there, but you don't want it too dark. You'll see how dark it's going to be. And what you want to do is you want to create like a wavy line or a jaggedy line, but you want it to look like mountains. So for example, I'm going to go like this and come down and then go back up. Okay? That's going to be my mountain. Right.
I can't see it.
Okay, so add a little bit more color to yours. Then what I like to do is I just like to take this and add some water down at the bottom, and then you just kind of let that spread out. Just grab out that line. Like that. Okay? So the dryness makes this nice and crisp at the top, and the wetness makes it bleed at the bottom. Okay? Now you're ready for the next mountain, which is going to be a little darker than this mountain, okay? So you want to add more to your brush. And then you're going to go across this. You have to let this dry first though. Sometimes I go like this to kind of dab it up. Otherwise you won't have that crisp line. Is that nice and dry? It is perfect.
Yeah, but this is straight.
Okay, so if you don't want it to be straight, you can drag some more color down, or what you do is you just make your mountain go above that. Okay?
Okay.
Alright, so for this next value, you don't want this mountain back here to look exactly like that mountain up here, because that's just not how mountains work. So you can make this one a little jaggedier, you can go even a little bit above that one, it doesn't matter. Just have some fun with it. And see how that bled right there? That meant that mine wasn't dry enough. I'm gonna get my hairdryer out. Okay, so now I'm gonna go over this part. And I wanna make sure I have more color on my brush because I want this to be darker. And I'm gonna go above my mountain right there. Do. You can just be creative. And then again, add some water. So this color looks really close to that color back there, so add a little more color to it. And you might have to add some of that darker color or black to it.
Oh, this color.
Yep. Okay, and then I just spread that color down, scrub it with my brush like this. Okay, see how that's a darker value? Okay, so once this is dry, we're gonna add another layer. This time, don't add very much water to your brush, okay? You're just gonna add more of the paint. Of course, you have to have some water to get the paint on your brush, but you want to have less water. If you chose a light color, you might have to add a darker color to it so it gets darker, like maybe black or brown or
this
blue
type of green.
or dark purple, or if you're using like a pink, a red. Okay?
Oh, this dark blue.
Yeah. Okay. So this time we're going to make another mountain, and you kind of want to have it a little bit more jaggedy, okay? Because this is getting closer and you have some trees in here. So you can go up, come down. Okay, whatever you do, just go over that white right there. Just make it different than the mountains behind it. Okay, and like before, you just grab some water and then you pull this color down. That's a weird tree right there. And see how dark this part right here is? That's how I want the next level. So I'm gonna just lighten that up a bit. Okay, and be sure not to, yes, that's nice. Just be sure you leave a gap so that you can see the ones behind it.
Yeah, I can see one right here, right here, right here, right there.
Yep, you can. Good job. Okie dokie. I'm gonna bring this down. And I'm gonna bring it down a little bit further this time.
Me too.
Okay, so this next level, this one is not the last level, but it's the darkest level between the black and the purple, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to grab your color and make sure it's really dark and your paintbrush is really dry and your paper's really dry, okay? And then you're just going to make a mountain in here. And I'm going to make mine come down right here just for some interest and then come back up. Okay, and then I'm going to add some trees to it by taking my brush and going this way and just making some pokies. It's going to look like trees. Like this is a forest. And of course, pokies in the forest aren't the same height, so I'm just going to add some variation there. And then bring my color down. And this can be all the same color. And then just bring this color all the way down. A dark color, nice dark color. So you're going to have to get more and more paint on your brush. Okay, so this last step, we're going to use the same brush. And then you want to get it dry. And then you're going to add black. Okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to create a silhouette with your paintbrush. So you want to make a poke at the top, so you want to lift up your paintbrush to have it going straight up, not to the side, straight up. Okay? And this should all be dry. And you're just going to draw a line going down right here. And what you want to do is you want the trees to frame it. but you don't want too many trees so that it covers up all this prettiness back here. So you just want to add like a taller tree on the side, smaller tree, and a taller tree on this side. Fantastic. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to turn your brush just a little bit to the left here. Okay, and you're going to start right here, and then you're going to turn. See how I did that? Okay, all the little brushes, they made it for me, all the little tree branches. Go to this side, and then move down, and as you move down, you're just going to go out just a little bit further each time. See how cool that is? And you get some more paint on your brush, and you go to this one and make sure that you go out just a little bit, and then you keep going down.
Look at mine.
Oh, I love it. Okay, and make sure that you have enough paint on your brush, because see how it runs out down here at the bottom? Good. Okay, and I'm just going to finish up this one. See how I go down, and then I go to the right, go down, go to the right, or the left. Going down, I might want a branch right there. Okay, kind of bring it out a little bit further.
Done. Look at this one.
That's awesome. Okay, and your last one. And this is the darkest value, and this is the lightest value. And we learned about values in the lesson plan that goes along with this lesson. So if you go ahead and click right here, you can grab that lesson plan. Don't forget to sign your work. You can sign it right here at the bottom or right here. We're done. I hope you had fun. There is a little activity to do at the end of this lesson in the lesson plan, and we will see you next week with another art lesson. Bye!
Don't forget to subscribe and give this a thumbs up.